Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is October the 1st, 2023, which means it's World Postcard Day, so I am sure everyone out there is busy pulling addresses from postcrossing.com today to get their badge, writing postcards, decorating. Maybe it's been a whole week process for you, or maybe like me, I've been writing some postcards throughout the month to make sure they get there by today or around today. I've done a bit of that, but I've also made this a full weekend of writing. Yesterday, I put together 35 cards before I went to bed. And then today, I pulled all my official addresses so I can get my badge. I was able to pull 9 today, which was really good because I saved 1 from last week. I didn't write 1, hoping that at least I would have 1 to write. 8 other of my cards reached their destinations this week, so I had 9 officials that I could send. So I'm going to show you which addresses I got. Not which addresses, but I'm going to talk to you about the addresses that I pulled, and then show you the cards I've selected. And yeah, first though, I want to get to this picture back here. So my brother Eric sent me a message for That Dad Guy Answers yesterday, asking what this image was and where it was. I didn't know. It's just a stock image from Apple that goes up there. I used to have personal images of family or trips or things up there, but every time I do an update, it erases it or it gets rid of it, and then you got to go back and re-put it in a new picture. So I just went with the one that's there. But luckily, Renee Lewis was watching and saw. So Renee Lewis of her own YouTube fame, you can go check out her channel. She sent me a message saying that this is the Anacapa Islands in the Channel Islands National Park off the coast of California. One of the most popular ones is Catalina Island, so you may have heard of that one. I have heard of that one too, and it was because the iOS update was called Catalina, so they put that together. And so they've got some new pictures too of California that have come out with more recent updates. But there you go, Eric. That is the Anacapa Islands in the national park there off the coast of California. So thank you, Renee, for giving me that answer. I knew someone out there is going to have the answer. It is like that with anything that I really I post, whether it's pictures of stamps and things that I don't have information of. There's always someone out there that's willing to give you the information. So another great thing, if you watch the video, go ahead, read the comments after. You might find that the answer you're looking for is within the comments, not the video itself. That's great. All right, let's get to why we are here today, World Postcard Day. We are going to flood the mail. One of the things I noticed when pulling the addresses, normally I can get consecutive numbers because no one else seems to be pulling the addresses at the same time. Sometimes you skip 1 or 2 because someone pulls one. Now the address numbers are flying. They limited it to 10 today. That's all you could pull. Luckily I only had 9. But yeah, it's jumping quite a bit here in Canada. I'm sure it is doing the same thing in other countries as well. All right, let's get to the cards. So the first one is going off to Germany, and she says, "Hi there, are you already noticing climate change where you live? If yes, would you please tell me how? Thank you so much. I'm really worrying about the earth. I'm really looking forward to all the postcards in my mailbox, and I'm overthinking sending postcards, though. All of these cards that I really love are transported by planes." Well, hopefully you don't leave the hobby because of that. Mail will go on, hopefully, and so the planes are filled with all sorts of stuff, so it's not just your one postcard that is being sent by that plane. They are sending a whole bunch of things, so hopefully you'll continue to do that. It's so exciting to see what you picked for me. For my first month here, I didn't ask for special cards, and I still like the surprises, but now I notice that it's easier for you to give me some ideas, so here are some that I really like. I was the same way. At first, it was like, yeah, just send me whatever you like. But as a postcrosser, and when you start to get a good number of blank cards, you really want to narrow it down into what people are really interested in. It really makes you helps you come up with a decision a lot better. She says she likes blue paper cards from the US, and then she lists all the ones that she's already got from which states. She likes feathers, violet cards, quilts, bites, poppins, dandelions, colorful cards, morning glories, roller coasters, roundabouts, carousels, Ferris wheels, pigs, ferns, butterflies, dragonflies, Maori and other Aboriginal cards, cupcakes and macaroons, flip-flops and jandals. I don't know what a jandal is. I guess it's a form of sandal. Maybe she meant to write sandal. I don't know. England, London, New York City, Lisbon, hot air balloons, birds, especially parrots, and I really appreciate picture from Leonid Efremov. Or you can send cards relating to my hobbies. I love to listen to music, dance, go to the concerts, and I very much love my choir where I'm singing. I really like reading, but I don't have enough time to read all the books I want to. I love quilting, and I would like cards with quilts. And somehow I like Okay, that was funny. And somehow I like gardening, although it's hard work too. Well, sometimes hard work can be fun. I'm working on my local tourist office, and of course I love travel and meet people from all over the world. I very much love my 2 grown-up children and my first grandchild. Congratulations. And my whole big family. I also send cards to my children, my sisters, and my sisters. I think post-crossing is a great idea, and it works. Wow, it's so much fun to receive and send cards. So thanks for all you do and write to me. And please write some words. Receiving a card without anything except the address is so sad. Maybe you tell me which is your favorite song right now. All right, so she said she likes things like butterflies and dragonflies and dandelions. So I picked this card. It is a World Postcard Day card with Polo, and this grass probably had dandelions in it at one point before the lawnmower went through, so hopefully she likes it and it fits what she's looking for. The next card I have is going to Florida in the United States. She says she's in a letter writing club in her hometown of Florida to get back to more analog lifestyle of writing with paper and pen, creating things by hand. I'm still very digital for many things, but I like to take time for the tactile experience of creating without having to have an undo button to rely on. I do a lot of journaling and paper crafts. I'm a big fan of traveler's notebooks. I also love stickers and collecting vintage stamps. This year I have traveled a lot through the US by train and bicycle, sometimes in the same trip. I like all mail. I have a specific interest in bicycles, commercial art, posters with advertisements, packaging, magazines, interesting in typography or topography, space, technology, science, urban street science, inspirational messages, vintage postcards, vintage stamps, national parks, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, maxi cards, but I'm excited about everything that arrives in my mailbox. That being said, I thought, what better card than today to send a Polo World Postcard Day. So hopefully that fits the bill for what she is looking for. All right, moving along to the next card. The next card I have is going to the Republic of Korea. One of the great things about pulling all these addresses today, I've got them spread around the world, which is fantastic. They're going everywhere. So she says she is 27 years old, lives in South Korea. She loves all kinds of postcards, but here are some to help me choose. Single view of your country or town, buildings, cultures, something about your country, patterns, Disney, Blue Cat, flags of origin, GF of origin. I'm not sure what GF of origin means, but then she lists which ones they are. So I'm sure you guys know that acronym, so you can let me know what GF of origin means, where she's already talked about flags of origin. On December, she'd like to get birthday cards. If you don't know what to rate, tell me about your travels, favorite stamps, movies, quotes, hobbies, food, or just draw something you like. I'm looking forward to receiving your postcard. So that being said, she said she'd like to have something about your country. Well, Polo was in my backyard, in my country. So I am sending her a World Postcard Day card. Woohoo! All right, moving on. The next card, you can tell that I'm getting better because I'm being a little bit sillier. I do have the hack and things still, but I am starting to improve. Next card is going to the Netherlands, and she says she is a mother to a son and daughter. She works in a B&B. She makes breakfast, lunch for meetings, and she cleans rooms. Her hobby is her motorcycle. She has a Suzuki Intruder. She drove to Finland, Sweden, Germany, Belgium, Denmark, England, Italy, and Spain. And she makes mixed media artwork. Says, how nice of you. Says, if you have a World Postcard Day postcard, please, I collect them. I have some favorite cards that I like to receive. Any card with a black background, because my last name means black. That's interesting. She does have a very interesting last name, so I'm curious I'm glad to know that it means black. She likes cards with potatoes, chips, fries. Ooh, I have those. Cards with cheese, meeting cards. I have meetup cards too. Black and white or touch of color. Maxi cards, keep calm cards. I have those. Greeting cards, postal love, blue cats, illustrations. Tatina and friends around the world, snow globes. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Wow, there's a lot of things to choose from that I've got a lot of different things. I do have potatoes from PEI that I could send too. Meetup cards. I've got some meetup cards still left over from the meetups we've had here in Atlantic Canada. Well, let's go with a World Postcard Day card. She says she likes them, and today seems to be the day that I could send it. So she collects them. Let's add one to her collection that she won't have. All right. Next card is going to Japan. She is a mother of 3 adult sons and a grandmother of 6 grandchildren. Wow, keep her busy. Her avatar is the mascot of her town. Her biggest hobby is scrapbooking. She enjoys creating miniature albums, junk journals, greeting cards. It was an exciting experience when I received my first postcard from someone who lived in a far western country. The feeling of joy would be rekindled if I received another postcard from you. Suggestions for cards: landscapes of your country, UNESCO heritage sites in your country, ancient and historical buildings, beautiful illustrations, lovely illustrations about owls, forests, old ladies of Ingluk, dwarfs, coffee and tea, flowers. However, all these are merely preferences, and I appreciate any type of postcard that you send me. I would also be delighted to learn more about you, your country, the story behind the postcard. P.S. I've got some gotcha cards. If you collect them, please message me. All right. Well, I do have this one card that has a pretty good story, and it's about my country. So I thought I would send Polo in my backyard. So this is a World Postcard Day card, because World Postcard Day is today, October 1st. Get busy. Start writing. Fill those mailboxes with your postcards. All right. Next card is going to Ukraine. She is 46 years old, lives in Kiev. Her country's been suffering from Russian government aggression for months now, years now, but we don't give up. My family and I live in the basement for several months, but that only made us stronger. If your postcard did not reach me, write to me about it. We have heroic people, including the postman, but anything can be. I like cats. I also like everything related to zodiac and astrology, but I will be glad to receive your cards. World peace. Yeah. I would look for lots of different things, and I would make it funny, but this is going to Ukraine, and it's just for a piece of hope that one day things will change there and for the better, and I'm not making light of it. My next card is going to India, and all it says is, I'm a student of high school, eagerly awaiting your postcard. No other information. So, as I don't have a lot to choose, I went with, you guessed it, Polo, World Postcard Day card going off to India. So that's one of those profiles. It would be nice if he adds a bit more to it for other people to have choice on what he likes. You don't have really any interest, any indication. All right, next card going to Germany. And she is born in 1960 from Hanover, Germany. In April 2021, they moved closer to Berlin because their 2 children live there. So we are proud grandparents of 5 grandkids and try to spend as much time as possible together. She likes to work in her garden, but also to sew. In 2012, I have a small online shop where I sell my sewn clothes. So you can find me at facebook.com/cottonroses if you want to look at her stuff. Maybe you're in Germany and are curious to buy some of her clothing. Her husband is interested in genealogy for many years, so we got to know a lot of our contacts on the internet. We love to travel, and the personal contacts have helped us to get to know the foreign countries a little better. We are interested in land and people, and not primarily tourist attractions. I like fishes and bicycles, Townsend and Ingluk. If you could please send me a piece of cloth for my post-crossing quilt, but only if it doesn't cost you extra. I'm looking forward to it. So Elke, if you happen to travel this way, Polo really likes my backyard, so it might be an interesting place to see. So every once in a while, Polo goes for a little walk when it's warm out. And so there's an image of Polo enjoying World Postcard Day in my backyard. The last official one I have is going to the United Kingdom, and This is the best profile I have read in ages, so sit back, hopefully enjoy. It says, "Hello, you delicious post crossers." All right, that is a great opening line. That really grabs your attention and puts you into it. This person is amazing. It says, "I live in a once pretty, now overdeveloped market town between London and Cambridge in England. I have had to retire early from a wonderful career as an emergency nurse, but I keep up to date with things related to that profession by being ill and in hospital, or rather a lot." So she has a sense of humor about being sick. I do hope she gets better and she has a cure, but I love the fact that she is keeping it light, and that she said she was in the hospital as working. Now she's in the hospital as a patient, so she's keeping up to date. Her hobbies are quilting, cats, and then she has in parentheses, "Please note the comma between quilting and cats, because quilting cats is probably unethical. Journaling, reading, and art. I'm quite good at wasting time online. I'm not a fan of cooking. I'd rather be cleaning, singing tunelessly along to Queen, ABBA, or James Blunt. I don't like creepy crawlies, especially moss. I collect lots of random things, nurse dolls, pin badges, bookmarks, the free paper ones, and also sugar sachets or cubes. I have many tins full of sugar around the world. Does that make me a sucrologist? Maybe. Any donations to the Sugar Mountain are gratefully received. Every single postcard will be welcome and treasured in particular. Anything to do with COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing, lockdown, loo roll, masks, vaccines, politics, and so on, she loves. Blue cats, medicine, nursing, healthcare, anatomy, particularly aspects of emergency care. One of the most treasured postcards is from a London air ambulance that she's received. Says the gorier the better. The seaside beach huts, piers, lighthouses, ice cream vans, and jolly seaside related stuff. Soft waves off the shore. You get the drift. She likes seaside stuff. And the fact that she said get the drift was priceless too. Postcards of illustrations from children's books of your country would be cool. Rainbow or anything rainbow colored would definitely brighten my day. Dwellings, a building in your country that is or has been a human residence. Anything from a simple basic structure to a towering edifice, basically home. Wes Anderson cards, patchwork quilts, worldwide peace, particularly Ukraine, and especially Banksy. I love to learn a bit about your life, so postcards from your neighborhood or local scene are always welcome. I don't favorite receive cards because I like them all, and it hurts me to use the word favorite as a verb. It really does. I would prefer a postcard that originated in your country. It would be rather sad to get a British postcard from overseas. Oh, and where possible, please could you use a real stamp? I'm not collecting your DNA. I just love these miniature works of art. What to write? How do you display and organize your postcards? I need tips. What's your perfect meal? Your favorite moment of the day? Do you collect anything weird or unusual? If you're sending me a pandemic postcard, it would be awesome if you could tell me something about your pandemic experience. It would be helpful if you could write your username on the postcard so I can see your profile before I register your postcard, and thank you. It makes it a bit more personal. Much appreciated. Look forward to meeting fellow geeks and weirdos. If you get this far, you've definitely won. Happy post crossing. Well done to you for writing such an amazing profile. It's well detailed, and I couldn't think of a better postcard to send you than Polo in the backyard for World Postcard Day. I am definitely one of the weirdos out there, and you can tell from that. You can tell from the videos. So I have those 9 postcards that I have to write up. Now let me show you some of the ones that I worked on the last little while. This one I wrote last night before going to bed, and I wrote it upside down. So yeah, everything on the back of this card is the way it should be, but it should have been written this way. So to the person who receives it, you got the last card I wrote before going to bed Saturday night to get through, but I did pick this card out too to send, and then I thought this card might be good to send, and then this one was going to be sent, and this one, 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 Oh, and this one, and this one, and this one. These are all cards that I have already written and are ready to go, including this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Oh, and this one, and this one too. So these are all great cards going to fantastic people that are going to find homes. I did pick this card to send to, and this one, and this one, and this one too. This one. This one, this one, this one. Oh, that one looks different. Well, this person has already received one of my World Postcard Day cards, so I thought I would send him this. This is the Bucktooth Dunes, and yeah, this is a local place, great to hang out on the beach or go for a walk along the boardwalk. So yeah, so not all the cards that I sent for Polo, and if you've made it this far because you gave up and said all he's sending is these one cards, then you're missing out on all these cards too. So on the back it says Eskimo Village at Igloolik in 1979. This is a vintage card of all the igloos there. We no longer call them Eskimos, so that is an old term. So there we go. And this one here, who doesn't like a little bit of lobster? Well, I guess people that are allergic to shellfish don't like lobster. Or people that don't want to trap creatures from the sea may not love. Yeah, there's probably lots of people that don't like lobster, really. But it is a big part of what we have here on the East Coast. I really like this. Forever is Composed in Nows by Emily Dickinson. It's just a nice sentiment, and I like the card. This one here, St. Peter's Bay in Prince Edward Island. This came from my friend Helen in Prince Edward Island, her area of the world. So I do have one of those cards. She was nice enough to send to me. This one here, the famous circle route in Ontario, Kama Bay, the North Shore in Ontario. Lake Superior route completely encircles the world's largest body of fresh water over 1,300 miles through the province of Ontario and the state of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. This scenic driving adventure offers countless lakes, streams, waterfall glimpses of scampering wildlife, and vistas of mighty Superior itself, such as at Kama Bay, the most northerly point where the CP tracks, Canadian Pacific that is, Transcontinental and the Canadian Railway follow the shoreline. So that is going off to one of my adventurers. Maybe it's something they would like to try one day. These lighthouse scenes of Nova Scotia are going out. And then finally, the two things I have going out. Lisa from New Jersey sent me a traveling washi. So I am immediately jumping on this. So it is a card similar to, she sent me these blank ones. Similar to this. This is a stamp card though. But so you put your address here. You fill in for the traveling washi, you put a couple pieces of washi tape, and then you send it off to someone else. They put in a couple pieces of washi tape, they send it to some, and when the card is completely full, it gets returned to the person's address that first sent it. So in the washi case, it will go back to Lisa. So I think it's a great way. She included a couple of empty cards for stamps for me as well. So I am sending off her traveling washi in this envelope. This is one of the envelopes that Shara in British Columbia made for me. Very useful. So that is going off. Also what is going off is this envelope, another one by Shara. This is the traveling stamp one. So that card I just showed you, exact same principle. You put a couple used stamps, probably used stamps from your country would be best. I wouldn't put the most expensive stamps in your collection or anything, just nice looking stamps, 1, 2, depending on how much you can fit in that space. And then you send it off to the next person. Once the card's full, it will come back. So this envelope is going off to someone to help start that chain. And it is kind of a bit of a chain because you don't really get anything back from it. You're just participating. The only person getting back is the person who initiated the card. So in the case of the stamps, what I have done in order to incentivize is I've put nice stamps all over the front of the envelope. So the person who is receiving it will get those stamps. And also I put a little gift inside too, just to start the chain. Well, that is what I got to do. So I've been proactive. I have finished all of these. They're ready to go right now. Unfortunately, today the post office isn't open because it's Sunday, first of all. Yesterday, the post offices weren't open because it was Saturday, but it was also Truth and Reconciliation Day. So the official post office won't be open tomorrow, which is why I don't have to go to work tomorrow because the holiday fell on a weekend. But there is a post office in a Shoppers Drug Mart and a pharmacy here that will be open tomorrow. So all of these are going to go out on the 2nd. So what I have to do today is write the 9 official ones that I pulled and send those off. And other than that, I am up to date. That being said, if you are interested in one of my Polo cards, I'll show you what ones look like, just in case you haven't seen it yet. If you are interested in one of these cards and you want to trade, send me a message. I would love those World Hug postcard ones of the post boxes they're hugging. I'd like to get them from as many countries as I can try, and then show them all for you guys when they arrive. That is my goal. Now, if you don't have that, you still want a Polo card and you'd like to trade something else, great, we can still do that. I had ordered 50 of these cards and they sent me 100, even though I only had to pay for 50. So I still have about 40 left over. I'm glad that they sent me 100 because I have gone over the 50 originally. They were popular. I had a bunch of things to do, and so all my friends that I can think of at the time, I sent a bunch. There are some friends I know I haven't hit yet that I might randomly send some cards to as well going through. But if you want to reach out, you want to trade, let me know. Other than that, have a magical World Postcard Day. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.